Well, as easy and as fun as wood finishing is, we have to keep in mind there are certain safety precautions we need to take, not just when we're all done, but as we're going through the project. Once you get started on a project, you start looking around and realize you've got several cans that have the lids off of them, you've got brushes laying around, you've got some rags accumulating. If you don't take care of this as you're going from stage to stage during your project, you could end up with an accident. And trust me, if you've ever knocked over a quart of stain, you have an idea how far it will go. I don't think they make drop cloths big enough to hold that much stain. So, as you complete a project, even when you're between coats, it's always a good idea to get the lids back on top of the cans. But hey, don't make the mistake I used to make and simply take a hammer and start tapping that lid on there. There's always a little bit of stain in the lip and it's going to shoot right out on the front of you when you do that. So instead, take a clean rag, put it over the top of the can, and then very carefully begin tapping the lid on. That way, when that stain squirts out, it's going to be on the rag rather than on the front of your shirt. Now, when it comes to brushes, there's no sense in throwing away a perfectly good brush just because you need to clean it. Water-based products, of course, can be cleaned up with soap and water. It's a good idea to keep some water around. Get those brushes cleaned up right away. Water-based products tend to dry very quickly. So once you're done with that stain or with that finish, get that brush in some water, even if you just need to leave it in there and let it soak for a little while before you clean it up. Then once you get all the stain and the finish out of there, take a rag, wipe it off, and you can reuse that the next time. Now when it comes to oil-based products, then you need to use mineral spirits, also sold as paint thinner. Put that in a container, and again, take your brushes, push them down in there, swirl them around. You got to make sure you get all the finish out of the top of the bristles because it will dry up there just as well. Again, just as you did with the water-based, work them in there, redissolve that stain and finish that's wrapped around the bristles, rinse them out again with clear mineral spirits if you have to, then wipe them off with your rag. And hey, speaking of rags, well look, you're going to accumulate a lot of these. It's very important you dispose of these properly. I always keep a can around, it's about half filled with water, so you can put all the rags, steel wool. If you had disposable brushes, put those in there as well. That way they're covered with water, there's no danger to anybody. And then take a lid, put that on there, and check and make sure, find out what your local regulations are so you can dispose of that properly. Because remember, if you take care of safety as you go along, it's going to make each project go that much easier and safer for you.